about that, I am your gorgeous Nesca, here with the Truckle Model reacting to...
Did France ruin the Amazing Digital Circus?
Of course they did.
So when the Amazing Digital Circus was introduced to the world in October of 2023, it took almost the entire internet by storm. Because not only did the pilot of the show get over 100 million views in its first month, which as of this video is 4 times that, but also within the same time frame, it already had over 1,000 entries on that one website, and some Harvard analysts predicted that if it kept going that way, it may have contested
damn.
Rule 34. Oh.
Wait, My Little Pony is less than Overwatch? Really?
There's a lot of goon bait Overwatch.
Huh.
That's what sold Overwatch. Huh. And then ultimately what killed it, because they started making the characters ugly.
Points.
even the greats of that website like My Little Pony and Overwatch, and once again it had only been out for a month at this point and people were already applying their bespoke
Everyone likes colors. Colors and weird shapes.
What the fuck?
Issues to the characters.
I think I might.
That is a thick ass.
Dude, I'm gonna. What the?
But everybody was talking about the show when the pilot was released and when it.
There is nothing more metal than My Little Pony. Nothing. I just always thought My Little Pony had a greater goon thing than fucking Overwatch. I didn't think Overwatch was that big a deal. Okay, that's probably just me because I never got into it.
First came out, there were such things like memes, especially the one involving the soundtrack. There was even a popular misinformation campaign that Jack Black was going to voice a character, and there was countless videos published attempting to analyze why just the pilot of this show was so successful. Yes, that even includes myself when I used to use Minecraft games.
I'm a Rarity. Rarity is my favorite. Who's your favorite pony?
None, because I don't watch the fucking show.
Didn't I force you to watch it at one point?
Yeah, and I just said was laid in the background, did nothing.
And plays B-roll footage, but it was early days, come on. This type of instant success and widespread interest in a series, even from just a pilot, especially produced from an indie company like Glitch Productions that mainly released all of their animations on YouTube, wasn't heard of around this time. Yes, I know, Has-Been Hotel existed around this time, but we're not going to talk about that today.
When I say you are fucking 20 guys before lunch, you say, yes, Valentino. When I say you...
Not the voice breaking! Blake, why do you have to do such a good job with voice acting? Oh my god.
Got me. Yes, Val.
Where's my goddamn fucking fly swatter? Where is it?
But anyway...
The fuck?
Yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms. Wait. I have questions. Where was Has-Been Hotel on that, rule whatever fucking list?
I'm pretty sure it exists.
No, I mean, like, where was it ranked?
I don't want to know.
I watched it, with, my, little sister. Pinkie Pie was my favorite.
Formed around this show. Fans that were interested and excited to see the next installments in this series, in some cases, maybe a bit too excited.
What the fuck?
I am the person that cried over Has-Been Hotel, and after today, I will probably be known as the person that cried over the Amazing Digital Circus.
Okay. The world without woman. The world without Has-Been Hotel. Hell of a boss and...
But this increase in attention resulted in what I like to call the My Hero Academia effect, where a show or type of media becomes so popular that some members of the community become a bit too interested, or maybe a little one could say obsessed.
Okay, this for me would be the Sephiroth.
Cloud.
Cloud needs to burn in hell. I will punch you in the dick. Don't make me... I can threaten you by taking your Raftalia freeing figure and putting her in
What is
the
the mo-
toilet.
What is the most toxic fan base you could think of? Anime or
Oh God, there's a lot
wasn't
of them.
wasn't Homestuck kind of bad for a while?
I think Homestuck was like the main issue. That and Hatalia, I believe they were the originals that I could think of where everyone was really fucked.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the fan base to fucking Star Wars was toxic back in the day, for all we know.
Not really. Not no. Star Wars fans were just nerds. They weren't like toxic. But
Sure about that.
because I've seen Star Wars fans back in the day, they weren't this bad. Not compared to now.
Mm.
I mean, that's a good question. What is? And then it kind of morphed into My Hero Academia.
Undertale.
Undertale, yes.
You're lucky I don't know. Oh, I suffer hard. I don't show myself. Show it to me. Show it to me. Wait. Unless. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, you would be banned from my Discord. Okay. My brain just fucking focused on who you are and what did you show me before and how I was like the moo. Because if it's anything that I think it is, because they always like putting Cloud and Sephiroth together, but it doesn't fucking work. Just like this right here, the fucking.
What is the one that I showed you pissed you off the most?
Hmm?
The Sephiroth McCloud. The KF Sephiroth McCloud.
Shut up. Oh, Sephiroth is Peter Griffin. Ugh. You hate me.
I love
You really hate me.
I love tormenting you.
I will look. Someone do something for me. Go find some horrible fucking Raftalia stuff.
I've seen horrible. I've seen the
You were
the super fat Raptalia, but the modern artists fixed it. And it was like the morbidly obese Raptalia. I've seen that.
You're just not as. You don't love your waifu as much as I love my Habu. You're a whore.
I live in fucking reality.
You're not supposed to live in reality all the time.
Anyway, get back to it.
Where it's the only thing they talk about, it's the only thing they think about. They may even create such things as ships that make no sense at all and will never be canon, but will still defend them vehemently. And if you
That does. You're not wrong. Yeah.
utter a single syllable of criticism regarding the piece of media they love so much, they will either crucify you or launch a range of slurs at you. And that's not even mentioning the pain the creators of the show have to go through if they have fans like this and they don't create something that every part of the community is satisfied with. And in most cases, this minority of the community is so loud they often become the representation of the whole fan base for this type of media, especially for those that are outside of the community. Even though the majority of said community are probably normal people that just enjoy the show, and this small percentage of hardcore fans are ruining everything for everybody else. And the amazing
I will say though, despite me being a hardcore fan for the Sephiroth, I'm not gonna let that like fuck over anything. I'm not going to become toxic about it because I as much as I fucking adore Sephiroth and I probably do a little bit over obsessy, I am aware that he is a fictional character and stuff and is an IP that everyone can moo and stuff, and I'll be jealous, but I won't let that overshadow my what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Rationalness?
Yeah.
Digital Circus did see a bit of this at the start, but it was more towards the end of the series, it was more prominent, and it most definitely wasn't as bad as My Academia, or dare I say Has Been Hotel, but it was still there.
Yeah. My mom said I'm not honest, pissing him. What? Huh?
What? I'm moving on.
However, after the success of the pilot, the show continued to do very well. They released more episodes as the years went on, it garnered more and more popularity and attention. Every episode got millions of views, it was talked about everywhere, it became mainstream, and this show as a whole was a huge middle finger to the animation industry at the time. And in the current day, the show has come to an end. It had a cinema release generating 20 million on its 4-day domestic opening. It got a Fortnite collab, if that amounts to anything in the current day. It became somewhat of a...
Okay, fuck Fortnite, but I find it so funny. Have you seen the Pomni in Fortnite?
What?
They made her, like, thick. They gave her a fat ass and scaled her up.
Fortnite is run gaming, I swear to God.
Oh yeah, fuck Fortnite.
Cultural icon throughout its entire run, and the fans, well, the fans, despite the overwhelming success of the show, some would lose their shit, resulting in one of the creators seemingly stepping away due to what many thought was fan dissatisfaction with certain elements of the last episode, and backlash because they released said finale in cinema and people leaked the ending and the creator didn't say the correct thing in response apparently. Some of the voice actors even had their history dragged up with heavy accusations levied against them, and the community, despite being viewed as somewhat calm in the years leading up to this, especially compared to other communities, was now up in arms, divided, and just all around a mess. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, both the community and the show, and what nuclear bomb went off causing all this ruckus. But before we get into any of that, we need to know what the digital circus is and how it got so popular.
Specifically, I believe that we can use the religious imagery to get a pretty good idea of what Pomni's story arc is going to be. You see, Pomni is Digital Circus's parallel to Jesus Christ.
Now obviously there are spoilers in this video for the digital circus, its plot, and the ending, so if you haven't seen any of that and you don't want to be spoiled, leave now. But let's be honest, most of you probably got spoiled from the leaks anyway. To start with, the Amazing Digital Circus was created, written...
You know how you don't get spoiled from leaks? You don't get on social media. That easy.
That's easier said than done for some people, so...
and directed by Gooseworks, someone that even prior to the success of the Digital Circus already had a laundry list of achievements and titles under their belt. They worked on popular shows like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss and published their own independent stories, music, and illustrations, which is something they've apparently been doing for a decade and a half, which includes their activity on their official YouTube channel, with earlier uploads including things like Grabbed by the Ghoulies Orchestra remakes. So Gooseworks definitely knew fucking ball. But Goose has been doing everything from music production to creating and animating their own stories for years, to say the least. They were so good at creating stories that they even somewhat predicted one of the outcomes in the finale of the Digital Circus.
One of my dreams is to create a hateable character, have them develop until you kinda grow attached to them, then murder them brutally.
Like Jax.
I guess the closest thing to murdering them brutally was when they were sitting there crying with Pomni in the fucking what is it called? Void of his mind kind of thing. The abstraction.
Yeah.
And then the explosion of random ass grenades. I guess that's close.
Decade prior. And they also somewhat predicted the outcome of their fanbase.
Are terminally at the gym. I'm terminally playing video games. Oh god, I'm terminally playing video games and watching YouTube and anime and shit. I guess doing this. I don't know, I guess I'm not terminally anything because, well, I'm terminally a home potato. You gotta drag me out to do shit.
You wanna go for a walk after we have dinner?
Yeah, might be good. What is dinner?
Do we have hamburger? You have to thaw it.
We have some cooked burgers.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Goose started to see major success in 2019 and the years following, as she not only had the opportunity to work on Hell of a Boss and the pilot for Has Been Hotel, and was well
didn't know
acquainted
that.
with the career of both shows, but she also saw success in her independent work published on her YouTube channel, with animations like Little Runmo released in 2019, Elaine the Bounty Hunter released in 2020, and Elaine Gets Adopted released in 2021, to name a few. And she did most of the animation herself, receiving millions of views and high praise for these projects. Jumping to late 2022, she already had an impressive portfolio, and Glitch Productions would take notice, inviting her to their studio to pitch 3 shows, with one of them being The Digital Circus, which would see the release of the pilot the following year. But even before The Amazing Digital Circus, Glitch Productions was already somewhat popular. They started off as a YouTube channel under the name SMG4 that made things like Mario animations, which is briefly referenced in the ending moments of the Digital Circus. They would eventually transition into animating their own projects, founding the Glitch Production YouTube channel, releasing the teaser for their first official animation in 2019, which was Meta Runners, and it continued for multiple seasons. However, they would see more success with their next release. No, it wasn't The Amazing Digital Circus, but Murder Drones. It was
Yeah.
introduced in late
Murder Drones was
2021
really
and ran
pretty
for
good.
only
Yeah.
8 episodes, with said episodes releasing occasionally all the way up to 2024, which
I
is a
will say my only gripe about Murder Drones is it was kind of convoluted.
Yeah, it felt like it wasn't a focused story.
Yeah, the story felt very convoluted and confused. Like, I could understand what it was going for.
format their next
enjoyed it,
project
though.
would also follow. This would be a very successful series on their channel, resulting in them reaching over 1 million subscribers in late 2022. Because a lot of people really enjoyed
okay.
Murder Drones, from its animation quality, especially surrounding fight scenes, to things like its characters, its story, and the significant gaps between each
Sexy
episode
bots,
that only
yes.
made the anticipation and excitement for the release of future episodes greater. It was quite well received overall, although some didn't entirely enjoy the end of the series, but for an indie production uploaded to YouTube, it was very impressive and put Glitch Productions somewhat on the map. And fans were eager for the release of the next series Glitch would be producing, and they most definitely wouldn't be disappointed, as The Amazing Digital Circus was their next project, and the pilot alone, as I've reiterated multiple times, was enough to captivate a majority of the internet. It had animation that would only improve in later episodes, a range of characters that were fairly
notice it
interesting,
changed
and a
that
plot
much.
that hooked people
It
within
does
the
look better
first
towards the end.
episode. The show starts with Pomni, someone that
even
came across
notice
a
the
headset that
difference.
most think was
Weird.
due to her hobby of exploring abandoned buildings, and upon putting it on, she had been transported to the circus, a digital place controlled by an AI going by the name
Oh!
of Kane.
Dude, I just realized this.
What?
The reason why Pomni's here is because she explores abandoned buildings. So apparently the Cain and Abel building was abandoned, and she just fucking decided to take a headset, put it on, and she accidentally downloaded her memories into the computer. Huh. So she wasn't meant to actually...
Be in the circus.
Yeah.
Pomni does try to take the headset off, but it proves unsuccessful, and she's greeted by other people that also put the headset on and were now
Moving
trapped
on.
in this digital realm, with the only important character being Kinga. Somebody out there is already writing a slur targeted towards me for making that joke. Pomni can't remember her name, what
Stop tuning for the king.
I can't help it. They made it so fucking sexy. My God, did you not see like that some of that cog is how is that not? How is that not? Ooh, man.
Stop gooning.
she looked like in the real world, and certain things about herself, which is the same for the other characters. However, it is revealed in later episodes that they basically have all their memories, like past jobs, hobbies, and experiences, but nothing about their identity. But now she's in
That
the
is
digital
weird.
circus, she now, along with others, except for Zubul most times, are forced to go on daily adventures that Kane creates for them, which most times ends up with one of the characters being severely traumatized, and Kane
Nah.
only forces them to do this in order to apparently keep their minds active and entertained, to mitigate the chance of them going insane from
doing, little
boredom
kitten?
and abstracting, which is where they have mentally deteriorated to the point where they glitch out, turning into a monster that has lost
have a
all their
cozy cat
memories and
rest.
sense of who they are, and are also extremely hostile. This is the only way people can
Oh.
basically die in the circus, and there is no going back once you abstract. And the only way to deal with
That we
them
know
is to
of.
lock them in dark areas that seem to calm them down. Some have
No, I think they. I kind of like that. They tried to do something to be like, fix someone, but it still didn't work regardless, and they just had to accept it. I liked that.
Hmm.
That even though Pomni tried to fix Jax, it still wouldn't have been enough. It's not like a. I like that they had the power of friendship and love, but it wasn't enough to make things better.
No more. None of the friendship is powerful bullshit.
Yeah,
Power of friendship bullshit.
yeah.
theorized that abstraction is a metaphor for suicide, which, yeah,
Huh?
sounds about right. But although Kane
What?
apparently puts them on these missions to
Wait, what?
So apparently, the concept of abstracting is parallel to someone bubbling themselves.
Oh, smooth smide?
Yeah,
Smooth smide.
it makes sense when you think about it.
Like a mental smooth smide.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
benefit them, most characters just think he puts them on these missions to torment them in some way, and they
I
don't really work that
I
well.
wouldn't. I don't know. I still wouldn't feel like it would be. I feel like it'd be more like a like a like just okay. So yeah, the death, but I wouldn't. I don't know if I would say that it would be like a suicide though. It's you're fucking dying slowly on the inside, but not necessarily killing yourself. Because it's more of like a breakdown. It's a breakdown of yourself mentally, and all these characters are mental data.
yeah,
So it'd be more of a corruption, if anything, if we see it like in the terms of a computer virus kind of
yeah,
thing. So I wouldn't necessarily think of it as an equivalent to suicide because I don't think they're so much choosing to end their life. Because like yeah, at the ending when Jax is like I don't want to go and stuff. He didn't choose to end himself. It was more of a mental corruption of his own mind that he couldn't handle. Yeah.
Since a lot of people have
And that's what
previously
kills him.
abstracted anyway. But it's not entirely Kane's fault. The character Jax is basically responsible for killing two people and apparently fumbling two baddies. That basically is
Meh.
what the digital circus is, and Pomni from day one is trying to find an escape from their digital prison. And through every episode, you slowly learn more things about the circus, and more importantly, the characters, like their past and key events in their lives, but you never really outright get the whole story. Like, there's only one or two occasions before the ending where they just drop a character's lore on you. And by the end, you still don't get the entire
Yeah.
picture. There is still more questions, like how did every character get into the circus?
That I do wonder if that was an accident because they did bring up that that happened in real life with her getting into an accident from a car. Part of me is wondering if that actually was just accidental or did they actually try to end themselves?
we won't
Because
know.
based off of what we know about Gangle, she seems very depressed, and I feel like she probably would have thoughts like that.
Again, she's kind of like Squidward in a lot of ways. She was kind of a failed artist who had to work at fast food to get by.
Yeah, except she didn't have the same personality as Squidward because she was trying and she was more. And all I guess Squidward is pretty depressed, but she was more. She showed more happiness even though it was a mask kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know. Okay, okay. Did you break it?
Or how is the
Okay, thanks.
circus still even running after all this time? And that's probably one of the best things about the digital circus, because you may get answers to one thing that leaves even more questions. And most times
Actually,
you
yeah, if if it turns out that this is an abandoned building, how the fuck is the AI in the computer getting any power to even function?
Well, abandoned doesn't mean they left behind. I mean, they probably still have power on it. Just, I don't know.
Who the fuck's funding the power of an abandoned building?
You'd be surprised. I've seen abandoned places still have power.
Huh. They are brain scans, basically copies of the memories of the real people. The real bodies are living a normal life outside of the circus. Yeah. I'm just what I was asking is how does any of the Amazing Digital Circus even function if this is like an abandoned building, though?
It's the same premise of, also, it's got that same premise of like Soma does, but also I bought that game I'm gonna play later on in the year. I'm playing that one. You're
Unless
playing...
it's like, unless it's like maybe a deep think kind of thing. Like, would AI, like, okay, when you turn off a computer, is anything still functioning while it's off?
If you unplug it, it has no power. Nothing functions.
But like, what goes on with
If there's no power, it shuts off.
don't get outright told the answers. You either have to piece things
I'm
together
just kind
or
of freaking
make
myself out
educated
now.
guesses. But that is basically the Amazing Digital Circus, and the story is quite good. I can see why a lot of people like it, and it does deserve the attention it has received. My favorite episode, because I'm totally not a LARPer and totally didn't only recently watch the entire series in my spare time, but my favorite episode is Fast Food Masquerade, primarily.
Yeah, I really like that one too. But okay, I just had a thought on how the Amazing Digital Circus should have ended.
What?
It's just one day. Exactly how they accidentally deleted Kane in that one scene.
Oh, it's just someone unplugged it.
Yes. If that notion is true, like they needed power to even exist, because I don't know, that fucking computer looked like there was no power on it. If we're going by how you know, from that one scene how everything looked abandoned and shit.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to go with an idea that, like, the beings inside of a computer and stuff, and it doesn't. Ghost! Ghost power.
Ghost power.
It's ghost power. Probably an old company.
Because when
building.
looking into Gooseworks, it was said she worked for 5 years at McDonald's before she got fired.
Oh, so the creator worked at McDonald's for 5 years.
Yeah. Okay, this was definitely her story.
Like you talking about you working at Walmart.
Oh god, I only did that for maybe a year.
And you
Thank
can almost tell
goodness.
throughout that episode her experience working in fast food has bled into that episode, and it probably made previous fast food employees watching it relive their own personal Vietnam. I'm honestly curious if
the reason I was getting to the idea that the building is abandoned, because how he was describing the scene, like Pomni's real life version was someone who goes around and explores abandoned buildings, and she was new to the whole Amazing Digital Circus, and I was just thinking she put on the headset randomly while she's exploring the abandoned building, and yeah.
What are you doing down there?
She's being hyper. And also based off of the scenes where we see the building through Pomni's eyes, it looks very underkept and dilapidated. So yes, in hindsight, this is just a what's the word I'm looking for?
What? You're overthinking it.
No, hell yeah. This is just my
Opinion?
not really opinions what I'm looking for. There's another word I was looking for. Speculation. This is my own speculation. It's not something that's like lore confirmed or anything, but just going by what we know about the character Pomni's real life self, why she's there versus because she just kind of appeared one day randomly, and just the way pictures we saw of how the place looks that is seen to be reality, if that makes sense. I'm just putting stuff together.
Goosewex has like PTSD or something from that one beeping sound found in like every McDonald's.
Ow.
Even though it's a
Ow.
good show, not like the best show ever, let's calm down a little. It's not beating Teen Titans Go anytime.
Why would you bring that garbage up? Oh god, our souls has left our bodies looking at this.
Our childhood was destroyed because of this.
I feel like that South Park. He's fucking our childhood.
Soon. And every now and again, there is dialogue that can be, dare I say, a bit corny.
I don't care about you or anyone else in this circus in the slightest. End of story. You are my playthings.
But even though it saw great success and was highly praised throughout its run, it still had quite a big problem with its fans, especially nearing the end of the series.
Mommy!
There we go.
Please! 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 Don't leave me!
So as the Amazing Digital Circus got more popular and the amount of fans surrounding it grew and grew, obviously this sometimes results in the occurrence of fans
I am not obsessed, I am not obsessed, I am not obsessed, I am not obsessed.
that are a bit too obsessed with the form of media in question, to the point where they take said media and things surrounding it a bit too seriously to a delusional level. And as said, this happened to the reputations of the My Academia and has-been hotel communities. And this involves activities like going through the past of people associated with the show and dragging up past situations which nobody had a problem with initially, and most of the things dragged up were mainly jokes or even edgy jokes made by members of the show that no one had.
Simple person. I thought they were bros because in blank is Warcraft.
Or
Oh.
it is incest.
Oh.
Teen Titans was originally.
Oh, wins. Oh. Okay. That's a joke.
The problem with at the time, until they were brought to the forefront of the internet.
Exceptional, and its cancellation premature. That is returned in a chibi comedy, not a commentation, as most odd. Most odd. The boogie.
Years later, because apparently if you like a piece of content, it means that the people behind it have to agree with you on everything. They're not allowed to even joke about certain things, even in their past years ago. And if they go against any of that, you will have to vocalize your disappointment on platforms saying you're no longer supporting them or their content, even though you probably will continue watching it, and you also have to make sure to
big us, dick us.
Yeah, this is the perfect picture for that.
tag them in that same post. And you have to make a big deal out of the situation, assigning the most extreme labels with barely any evidence. Also, if something happens with the show you don't like, or in most cases it's something that's not even the fault of people directly involved with the show, you must go out of your way to blame them entirely, and overall you have to just make a big shit in your adult diaper about the whole
Why are you
thing.
DSPing right now?
Yuck.
Bing.
Hello.
William _O's_O2 is now following.
Thank you for following. Welcome.
That's basically how every fan base for bad reputation functions. Well, that or they get so obsessed they can't differentiate
Oh god, that's...
fiction from reality, or they do the opposite of what I just described a minute ago and go on the offense, attacking anyone that says
We've had to filter comments now since people are actively coming for me, telling me to hurt myself and using an opinion on a cartoon show to justify all kinds of slurs and insults. I am sad that we cannot have a debate without it escalating like that. The mods will be leaving up comments that are stop being attacked by a kitten. Generally invested in partaking in the debate, but to preserve mental health, I won't be checking the comments of the videos anymore. Sorry. To be fair, that is probably the smartest thing ever.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before. I do not check my YouTube comments anymore on my videos. To be honest, if you want to reach out and talk to me, I like hanging out on my Discord. You will be banned and booted if you are just coming there to be a troll and be an asshole, though. So yeah, let's move.
Anything bad about the show. And to be honest, the Amazing Digital Circus saw most of everything I just described. First came the accusations against the voice actors of the show, specifically the voice of Jax, Michael Kovac, and the voice of Zubul, Ashley Nicholas. And this allegation was sourced from a live stream these two did together way before the Digital Circus in 2019, almost 7.
Oh, what was the name of this game? This is a good game. I remember. Yeah, it's like a quiz game, I think. If I remember correctly.
7 years ago, and people were claiming they were racist from one clip from said livestream where the voice of Zubul's reads out someone's name in the chat and it sounds like the N-word.
Notice you, Senpai. Aaron, sure, we notice you. Mega? Hey, Saber!
Hey, sprinkle cake. That's what I thought was said too.
Use letters to spell the longest word you can.
She did not. It just sounded like it.
Did it? I said you fucking idiot.
It sounded like another word.
So they say N-E-G-A, which sounds like the N-word, and I did have to censor it because YouTube is...
See? I hate that bullshit!
Box game.
But, oh, okay, thank you.
But yeah, that's stupid.
That's why I am against the whole bullshit of not being able to say that word. But, unfortunately, just, you gotta adhere to the fucking booty boo.
Yeah, here to all the PC babies.
Like, I'm gonna
is
accidentally end
YouTube,
up
but they
saying
don't
it one
actually
day,
say
I
the
swear.
N-word, and later on continuing with the joke, in the game they were playing, they would make a shirt with the word she said on it, and they would all laugh and vote for it.
Oh, thank you, Daddy, for the vote.
Versus
Ninja! All that. Ninja!
Stupid joke. Let me get over it.
And that is it. Personally, I think this is like making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't think they are racist. All they did was read a chatter's name that sounded like the N-word, laughed about it, integrated it into their game, then laughed about it some more. There was no malice there from what I saw. It was a joke, and just to reiterate, it was 7 years ago. Come on. And plus, that's like every Jack in the Box game between friends. There is always a slur referenced. Anyway. But despite this, some fans did make a big deal about it. I think one fan that got Jax's voice actor's autograph tattooed on their skin, which in my opinion,
cool.
I don't know why you would ever do that. But after this drama came out, they would start panicking and post about how much of a mistake they had made and how much they wanted to remove it. And around that time, one person at a glitch event started spamming the word they said all those years ago at their stall, which led to Glitch making an official statement about it. They even roped Goosewax into this because she had previously referenced the event, so some also assumed she was racist due to this. And with all the attention this situation was getting, the voice actors would respond, where they would apologize for even making a joke about such a thing and apologize for any harm that was caused by it. But they would also add that people around this time were sending them very disgusting things in response. Goosewax would also respond to this in a very colourful way, to say the least.
Your life is nothing
You serve zero purpose. You yourself.
Well, to be fair, they're right. All they're doing is trying to tear. Gooseworks is a girl, right? Or
I think so.
I don't know. I'm just gonna refer to him as a girl right now. They tear down everything that she works for, just because they didn't like one little aspect of something. And what do they have? They've done nothing with their existence but sit there and bring others down. So yeah, I totally agree with this. Throw the book at the idiots. Yeah.
And this wouldn't be the first time this happened, because people also went through Gooseweck's old tweets and Tumblr posts with some from an entire decade ago, and they used things like edgy jokes and satirical humor as evidence to prove she's into things like incest and is a misogynist. In fact, it was even believed Goosewex deleted her accounts on places like Reddit because people were mad at her for simply saying on a live stream that Jax and Pomni are the two main characters of the show.
Going into the
Oh my god, they are the two main characters, you fucking retards.
Like I said, I felt like all the characters were the main characters in the story. Personally, Pomni was the only one I really focused on as the main character. I felt like Jax was more of like, maybe like, not really so much the main antagonist, because I guess that was, not sure. Jax definitely had main character vibes throughout, but I felt like all the characters had that.
series, I never expected one of the things that people would get mad at me for would be making the show focus on the two main characters. I was like, oh, I didn't even know you could get mad about that. It's like building up the show to be about Pomni and Jax. It's like, oh, people are actually really upset about that. I'm sorry.
That's all they said. People were mad the creator of the show made an offhand comment about their show, and that two characters are actually the main characters of said show instead of all the others. And they were getting so much shit flung at them, they even apparently apologized for it, but did later clarify they didn't delete their accounts down to that, it was other things. And if you thought—
let's be honest, you need to stop worrying what other people think, and you just need to do you.
Yeah.
Something I have to tell myself a lot.
That's why I have to tell you a lot.
Yeah.
They were just props in Entry Rule 34.
Just props in Entry Rule 34.
it couldn't get even more ridiculous, it kept going. Because as said, the final episode of The Amazing Digital Circus also had a cinema release before it would later be uploaded to places like YouTube and other platforms. But before the movie was released in cinema, the Brazilian Portuguese dubbed version was leaked online, which included clips of important plot points and in some cases just the whole movie spread eagle for everyone to see on things like their Twitter timeline. And fans obviously were annoyed by this. They had been waiting months for this episode, and they've been watching the show for years, only for everything to be spoiled, and they would have to avoid said spoilers like landmines for the next few weeks till the movie was officially released in their local cinemas. But for whatever—
to be honest, I feel like that's not that hard to do if you just can get off fucking social media. I don't get, I literally don't get how someone can just spend all their time on social media.
Oh, it's easy. You don't have a life.
I mean, what happened to watching shows or playing games? What's wrong with those things?
This is their hobby. When you're talking to someone, this is what they do. It's sad when you think about it.
I mean, I guess you and I have our own different version of mind rot.
Yeah.
For reasons, some people wouldn't be just mad at the leakers. They would also be mad at the people who created the show, apparently criticizing them for even having a cinema release. Because if they didn't, things like this would have never happened. And things would escalate when people tried to make Goosewax aware of the leaks. And in response, Goosewax, this heathen, this terrible person, had the gall to not really care. And she responded by saying, and I quote, "Who cares?" Which is a fair response. What is she going to do?
Exactly. What is she supposed to do? What, is she supposed to just sit there and bitch and cry and be like, oh, why did you guys leak my stuff? You just want her to have a fucking crash out? Sometimes, if you got assholes that do shit like this, what can you do?
Yeah, nothing you can do, sad to say.
Yeah. I think they were
Leaks are
taking it
already
in
out.
a very positive way instead of sitting there bitching and moaning about it. It's like, well, shit happens.
Out there. She can't mind wipe all the people that have seen them or do anything about the people that have downloaded the clips and are recirculating them. Yes, her team could remove them down to copyright infringement, but even then, when
True.
one is taken down, 10 more will probably take their place. There is nothing Goosewags could have done, and her response was fine. But after
Yeah.
responding, some individuals, for some reason, didn't like the way she responded, so they once again threw their at her. Obviously, it's not the whole community doing this, it is the small minority that are way too obsessed with the show and, dare I say, are a bit delusional. And once again,
Yeah.
Goosewags did somewhat have the foresight to see this happening even before the show was released. But Goosewags would respond to the backlash again, saying she knows people are upset about her response and she just wanted to make a show, but it's proven way more trouble than it's really worth, and she just can't keep her heart in things like this. Finishing off by saying this has gotten much bigger than her and she probably shouldn't be the figurehead of it. And this situation got so much attention, in fact, Moist Critical did a video on it.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
see what's
I
wrong with her
remember this.
response. Who cares? I don't see what's so bad about that. I don't know why people would be upset. Happens. It was out of her control. All she can do now is just be like, alright, there it is. But what if I told you that tongue Sahur's pregnant? We'll see.
But when the movie did eventually fully release, some people then got mad at Goosewags again, but this time for things like the ending, more specifically the off-screen abstraction of Jax. Like, Goosewags cannot win in any scenario, even if
Why are
she
you upset
isn't
about
remotely
that?
involved in a situation.
They were upset that the Jax extracted off screen. Why?
Was it really off screen that he abstracted? It's just that they handled it just.
I don't know. I think people just stop. You're not the main character.
Yeah.
And I think this is why a lot of show creators and animators don't really get that involved with their communities and keep a distance. Because
Probably
if you
for the
are
best.
actively involved, you are either going to be trying to make everyone happy, which may change the direction of the show and the way you.
This is why Nuska realizes that for Nuska's own good, paying attention to comments on my YouTube videos is not the best idea. I can't really do anything with live comments, but for the most part, you all seem really nice and sweet. When live comment drama does happen, hopefully Trucker Man or any of you is here. I need to figure out fucking mods and junk. I gotta figure out a lot of shit. But for the most part, I like to believe that I attract a community of sweet, nice people who have like-minded kind of duty-doos. Maybe not 100% like just not always agree with everything, but I feel like we have a level of respect with each other. Of course, then again, I'm just waiting for that one day someone's gonna crash out on me or some shit. Technically, I kind of already happened, but I don't know. Well, what can you move, right?
Yeah.
There's not much I can move. So yeah, I just try to be me. Try to do what I do. Try to be the cow and the moo. Boobies.
Shit happens.
Wanted it to go, or you will constantly have to deal with people complaining and blaming you for everything surrounding the show that in most cases has nothing to do with you. It's probably the most mentally draining thing you could do. And with that said, Goosewags would later respond to questions about the show, saying she's tired when asked about a season 2.
And that's depressing.
And she essentially passes the torch to the next Glitch production show and tells people to support that. Which I think is a completely normal and human response when you've had to deal with all the people have been throwing at you.
How she's actually not just one, but two. Because she also did that one, video game one too, right?
Yeah.
What happened to the Gaslight District? That one seems to
I don't think that's her. I think that's someone else.
No, he just got done saying that he passed on the torch to the Gaslight District.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's a Gooseworks thing. Well, no, not Gooseworks, but a glitch thing. But I don't know. I'm confused on who makes what now.
Yeah.
But even after that, people threw more saying you only made like 9 episodes of a show. How are you tired? So in conclusion, that is the amazing Digital Circus and its community. It's a community that for a number of years was fairly calm and wasn't that bad, but nearing the end of the series, that's when things escalated quite dramatically, and I do think it did somewhat impact the reputation of the show, especially with the release of the final episode. I think there was more focus on the drama surrounding it more than the actual show and what the indie production had accomplished. However, as said, it's not all the fans doing the things I described earlier, it's just a small minority that are far more vocal and loud who ruin it for everyone else. But this community is definitely not as bad as other communities, like Has Been Hotel.
Have any of you guys seen a talking teddy bear?
Shh, they're about to announce the new writer for the Digital Circus episode.
And the next writer is Vivzy Pop.
The show is pretty good, and I think the people behind it have set a new bar for what an indie series can achieve.
It's just
But
done,
yeah,
right?
make sure to
I
air
would
out your
hope
foreskin
so.
if you have one. If you don't, GG's, get f***ed, hood gang. And that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us for that lovely video. Yeah, sometimes shit
Pretty
just
sure
happens,
this guy just
right?
dethroned.
Alrighty. Take care, everyone. Thank you all for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It would make me very happy. Kiss, kiss, hug, hug.